All right. You nervous?
Huh?
You nervous?
No, I just want to laugh.
All right, let's just get into it. Hey, this is Matt.
And this is Yuna.
Perfect, just like we rehearsed. This is episode 1 of a little experiment podcast we're doing that we like to call Our Three Things, where we just talk weekly about some stuff that we're happy about, that's bringing us joy, which I think we need at a time like this now more than ever. But yeah, what's the history of these three things, Yuna?
So those three things is I think we heard in some YouTube broadcast, and people are saying if you say the three things that you feel appreciated every morning or every week, it actually brings up your mood and makes you feel better for the rest of the day. And I think sometimes we do need this to remind us we need to cherish what we have in life.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been doing this actually for, almost since we started dating, right?
Yeah.
You introduced this concept to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thought this would be like a fun way to share with our friends and family and whoever else out there might be listening in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And we hope this could inspire people just to really enjoying their life and enjoy little things that actually is really unique and beautiful to them.
Yeah, and thank you for coming to our TED Talk. Now,
Thank you.
we already have our first guest star in the background.
Yeah, if you hear a little whining voice, that's our little puppy, Mocha the Kudo. Make sure you check the Instagram account.
Okay, well, let's not do some promotion on the very first. We'll get to that later. I'm sure he'll pop up on the lists.
Exactly.
So let's get started.
Wonderful. So what's your first thing?
Well, thank you for asking, Yuna. So my first thing this week on our very first episode, I was thinking long and hard about what is most bringing me joy. And it's probably not going to surprise you, actually. It is a musical/movie that I've been listening to nonstop for a very long time. And the movie just came out called In the Heights. Are you familiar?
Of course.
Yeah, so for those who may not know, I think everyone knows what Hamilton is. Obviously the musical that took pretty much the world by storm. The creator of that, Lin-Manuel Miranda, for those who maybe don't know, who aren't into musical theater or don't know his background, which, to be fair, was not me either. But his first big hit was this musical called In the Heights back in, I think, 2005, I want to say, is when it was first put on Broadway. I probably have the years wrong on that. I should have done more research on that. But anyway, it was back mid-2000s, and it was, he won a Tony for it, and that kind of launched him into being able to do Hamilton, which everyone knows. Yeah. But In the Heights is this, I'm not big into musicals, but it's one of these things that he combines this hip hop kind of rap sensibility with his Puerto Rican, his Latino background to create this ridiculously catchy soundtrack that honestly just kind of goes with everything. I don't know if I told you this, but when I went for a run the other day, I used the soundtrack as my background music.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if you listen that day and night, because I've heard of that.
You've heard that? Yeah.
Yeah.
You sing along with me in the car too, though.
Yes.
So one reason that it's more top of mind lately is because it also came out. They did a movie adaptation for it that I think was delayed multiple years because of COVID, and it's just so happy and optimistic. I think maybe some folks, if you've never heard of it and you want something to start with on the album, you can't go wrong with a song called 96,000.
Yes, I love 96,000.
Yeah.
It's really catchy, and the part I like most is the three girls that sing in the middle. And what impressed me of the 96,000 is the choreography they have in the swimming pool.
Oh yeah, in the movie.
So
yeah.
cool, strongly recommend. And we're not doing promotion for the movie. We just purely love it.
Yeah, we have no sponsorships, just to be clear. So they're definitely not, Lin-Manuel Miranda is not sponsoring this podcast. But yeah, no, that's definitely one of my first things because I'm still listening to it at least like once a day, like at least a couple of the songs. It goes good in the car. It's good while I'm working. Like I said, I pretty much did the whole album start to finish on a run the other day because it's like exactly an hour. Yeah, it's just I'm not big into musicals in general. Like I didn't grow up with that necessarily, but it's just good stuff. It's just like very feel good. So yeah, that's my first thing.
Great.
What is your first thing, Yuna?
So my first thing is I'm glad I start watching and finished watching the Netflix
I think I know what this is
show
Yeah.
World of Honor. So it's Chinese TV fantasy show. In Chinese called Fangirling. I said this is my first thing because this show is just so well produced, and it tells the fantasy story of two maybe good friends trying to
Okay, so no, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
so two good friends
Good friends. There's very serious air quotes on good friends.
trying to save each other from their dark side, and in the end one of them died for each other. At least that's from the ending I saw in Netflix. Why I'm so into this show, because since it's on Netflix in May and now it's mid-June, I have been watching this show day and night. And I finished the show a second time, and on top of that I've been following all their social media accounts for the two main actors.
Yeah.
And watch all the credits and listening all the OST. So it just brings me so much joy to see their true friendship, relationship, whatever that is. It's really
Now
great.
hold on. Now we're dancing around this a little bit. So can you explain why this has hooked you so much? And I think you're sort of going around the reason, maybe.
No.
No?
I think I'm okay. Okay, two of the main cast, they're very attractive, of course.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean,
and
I've seen you watch the show. They're very attractive.
yes,
I mean,
and like in the show, like I just saw how they start from strangers and become knowing each other and trying to save each other's life and want to lose their own life for the other people. And in some of the things, a thing in the TV show, when their reactions towards each other, when they look at each other, that me feel like there is love, true love between those two actors, and makes me wish.
now true friendship, right?
Yeah, friendship with quotations, whatever that is, and makes me want to wish they're actually a real couple or good friends in real life. If you haven't watched this show, they're still on Netflix. Maybe check it out.
Now they are a sponsor, right? The show is a sponsor of our podcast. That's correct, right?
No, they're not.
Still not? Oh,
Still
okay,
not.
we gotta
Yeah.
write in a little more, I guess.
Yeah. And one thing I want to add to this is I'm not a fangirl type of person, and this is the first time I'm like a super fan for this show and for the two main cast, and like I've been searching their social media and listening to the OST until 2 a.m. on some weekends. So
Just weekends,
yeah,
huh?
just weekends. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sure.
I still have a job to do.
All right.
So that's
Yeah.
my first thing. What is your number two?
My number two thing for this week. This one might actually surprise you a little bit.
Yeah.
Because of certain things this morning, maybe.
Yeah. I think
but
I know what you're talking.
My number two is actually our progress learning to play tennis together. So just maybe a little background here. Neither of us played tennis. I mean, ever, right? I mean, that was,
never.
I think honestly, when the first time that we picked up a racket at our local court was the first time I'd ever actually played tennis. I played like some racquetball in uni. Yeah, you said you played. Did you play badminton?
No, I played nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, but it used to be a basketball referee, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it.
Mocha. Our dog is not enjoying
Yeah.
us not paying attention to him right now.
Yeah. He's looking at us and want us to play with him.
Don't worry,
but-
you'll show up on the list sometime. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Go to the couch.
Go to the couch.
Go on. So yeah, neither of us had played tennis before, but we had a court local to us that was included with where we live, and so we rented a couple rackets and were playing for a while. We learned a lot of really bad habits, I think, with actually technique and how you're supposed to play tennis, quote unquote, I guess. But luckily, there's actually so we live in an area that has some good tennis classes, and we actually had like a coach that we could go to, like a beginner class for adults.
Yeah.
And we, how long have we done that actually? It's been.
I think we finished third term.
Well, when did we start though? Like how long ago? Do you remember? It's been like
don't
a year and a
remember.
half.
I think it's
Or
a year.
Something like a year, yeah.
Yeah. It should be like mid last year.
Yeah,
We started.
I think
after
so.
Lockdown.
Yeah,
After lockdown.
Yeah, after the
lockdown finished.
the first lockdown.
The first lockdown. Yes.
We're saying in 2020.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started playing that. That was about a year ago now, and it was difficult because we were both learning how to play tennis correctly from scratch, while at the same time unlearning the wrong way that we played.
Yeah.
The very bad habits, right? So, so we got lucky and we've had the same coach the entire time in the beginner class. We've done a few terms, and this most recent Friday night when I'm at our class at the end of this term, our tennis coach actually said he thinks that we might be ready to to play in a social pickup game with like other people, like actually play, which is
it's very encouraging.
Yeah, I mean, it made me feel good. Now I'm saying when I started this one, I mentioned that it's probably funny that I brought this as one of my things, because this morning we played again, just the two of us, and I was stinking it up on the court.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah.
Probably just not your day.
No, just not my day. I couldn't hit anything, but I think what made me feel good and the reason I'm still bringing it is because I actually feel like I've matured at this specific sport, which I find pretty difficult to learn as an adult.
Very difficult, no doubt.
And like I know when I'm doing bad, like what I'm doing wrong.
Yes.
It's just like sometimes like my body is just like not into it, but like I know the technique, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, which almost makes it more frustrating, when you're not doing well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it gives me a little bit of confidence for the future.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm like capable of actually playing like somewhat respectable on a good day. And it's just a lot of fun to play. Like it's a very fun sport. It's good to it's a good bonding thing because you play with two people. It's a good couple thing.
It's great for couples.
Yeah. Well, it's good for couples. Although if they're both competitive, just watch out, which we tend to be when we're playing.
Yeah. I agree.
But at the end, it's still it's a really fun thing, and you feel like when you hit a good shot in tennis, you feel kind of like a badass. Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately we're going into another lockdown currently where we live, but so we won't be able to play for a couple weeks, unfortunately. But I'm looking forward to getting back on the court and continuing to play. So that's my second thing. Yuna, what is your second thing today?
So my second thing is actually I reached my 50% of my first weight loss goal for this year. I'm really happy about this progress because I think everyone's like me. Since lockdown, we all put on lots of weight, right? Because we stay at home, we eat takeaways, not enough exercise, and you put on weight. And when you grow older, like our age, it's so hard to lose weight. And for me,
I have a feeling the people some people are going to listen to this, hi mom and dad, are going to take offense to what you just said. But I just want to clarify, not old, older. For everyone who's out there. Yeah. Older.
So it's so difficult, and the reason I want to bring that is because I've been trying to lose weight since COVID for a while, and our puppy started whining again. So I'm gonna continue pretend he's not there, and I feel like this year I need to do something to make myself proud. And I really, really want to set up small goals of weight lossing and achieve them one by one. I want to be able to tell my future self saying, I can do this. I can actually achieve the goal I set. And through this process, I think this one is, I achieved 50% by following exercise program for 3 weeks. It's a 6 weeks program. And now I found, for me, the key fact is you have to eat healthy. You are what you eat, and you have to exercise. You can't just rely on one of them unless you're really, really strict about it.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I know I don't want to get too into like the weeds here because I'm always worried when you talk about this stuff, someone's going to come in and say, well, actually, here's how it works. Like, I'm a nutritionist.
Oh, I know.
But
that's just what works for me.
Yeah.
What's suitable for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For sure, because I think like I see a lot of this advice. You see it on social media all the time. Like, oh, weight loss is only in the kitchen. Like that's the main thing. And exercise, because a lot of people, especially because like I'll see people who are doing like posting about running or whatever on Facebook and say like, why am I not losing weight? Say, oh, well, you have people say, oh, you have to. It's all diet.
Yeah.
Which I think that's true to an extent, but it's much harder if you only do that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. But the point I bring this saying, this is actually my second things that makes me happy. Is I have achieved 50% of the target, which is fantastic. Because I have been not be able to have any progress for months. And also finding the way that's suitable for yourself is really important. It doesn't suit for everyone, but as long as you find some way to keep you healthy, it's good for you.
Absolutely. And I mean, I see it every day, like the effort that you make. Like we used to do at least a couple takeaways during the week.
Yeah.
There's none of that. And you're very strict about that. You're very disciplined.
Yeah. And like, because I am a foodie. I love food. I love desserts.
Oh,
so this is actually a quite big deal for me to be able to go this far. So that's my second thing. So what's your last thing that makes you happy and appreciate life?
My third thing today is actually so I was trying to decide for my last one for today. I was down to a couple of them. Some of them I think will not be as relatable for you to discuss much about.
Yeah.
So I might bring them in the future. But I'm still picking... Our dog likes to interrupt us doing this. I'm picking one that's probably going to make you roll your eyes at me.
Yeah.
A little bit. And I don't want to get too gross on our first episode of the podcast.
Too gross?
Yeah. But my third thing is our bidet.
Oh my god.
Because it really, like...
Can you explain what's a bidet to people?
Well, I think most people know what a bidet is, but basically it's a thing you sit on it and like you make a mess in the bathroom and it cleans you right up, you know?
The only thing I like bidet is it's really good for winter. It's warm.
Well, okay, so hang on. People might take that the wrong way. I think what you mean is the seat warmer.
The seat is warmer.
Yeah, the seat warmer. Now the water is warm too.
Okay.
Which is
great.
lovely. But so the one we got we actually, the funny thing about this one, we just got one installed in our place. We installed it in our place, like a couple months ago now, I think. Not very long. And we weren't actually going to, like, we weren't planning to do it.
Yeah.
But we were trying to install for your parents,
yes.
and they got the wrong size.
Yeah.
And so, we saw, oh, well, actually it fits on ours.
Yeah.
And your parents insisted that we just take it, even though I was like, I don't really need it. It's fine. I'm really thankful that they kind of pushed it on us. Yeah. It's a game changer, to be honest. Like you.
Oh, really? A game changer? You haven't told me that.
Well, I don't like to talk about this stuff.
Okay.
It's a gross topic to talk about, which I don't know why I brought it as one of my first things for this podcast.
Okay.
But it's
weird.
I mean, that's true. No, you just come out feeling nice and fresh. And I mean, and also like the one we have does have like, it has like a lot of functions. So like the seat warmer itself is, I didn't think like the thing with the warm toilet seat, right? It depends on the context if it's good or not.
It's good for the winter.
No, but think about it. If you go into like a public bathroom and you sit down and that seat is warm.
Bad.
No good.
No good.
But when you're in the comfort of your own ensuite bathroom in your master bedroom.
Yeah.
And that's nice toasty warm seat at 7 a.m. when you first get up. Yeah,
I agree.
That's nice, right?
Yeah.
Now the funny thing about bidet is like they're not common at all where I grew up, like in the U.S. That like I don't think most people, no, I don't think anyone I knew or any place that I'd been to in the U.S. had one.
Uh-huh.
I think my first exposure to it was actually traveling in it was in Asia in Bhutan actually.
Oh, in Bhutan.
That was the first time I'd ever
Oh.
used a bidet, and it was a weird, it was maybe like an older kind of style of bidet where like it wasn't just the automatic one where you just press a button. It had like a little shower head looking thing next to it, so you had to like hold it,
It's so
manually.
weird.
I'm just telling you, I'm just relaying
Okay.
my first bidet experience to
Yeah.
you. Started at the bottom of the bidet ladder, I think, and kind of worked my way up. We actually had one. Actually, no, you know what? That wasn't actually my first exposure. My first exposure was we had them in the office that I worked in when I was living in California, but I never used it once because I was intimidated by it. I was too scared to use it because I was like, what if I don't know how to use it right, or like I splash water all over my pants or something. So I never even touched it. And now I kind of like regret that because the office I work now here, where we live now, doesn't have one.
You
I
should
feel like I
recommend
missed the
one.
boat. I know. Yeah, that's maybe if I ever end up going back to the office again after all this is done. That's
Yeah.
my first order of business, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I'm just it's just a nice like quality of life improvement, I think. I think
Agree.
everyone should get one.
Yeah,
Bidets for everyone.
definitely.
Vote for me for world leader.
Exactly.
So let's install
Agree.
bidets for everyone, every house. That's my third thing. I hope yours is less disgusting than mine.
Yeah.
What's your third thing?
So my third thing is actually comes to me last night. Is I'm going to watch one of my favorite singer live concert in 2 weeks time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and one of my favorite singer, he's a Singaporean singer named JJ Lin, and the reason I discovered last night is because when I was browsing my phone, I received a YouTube notification say, oh, there's a JJ Lin's channel is doing Ask JJ Lin Anything. And because I haven't saw news from this singer for a while, I said, oh, what's on the news, right? Well, we can ask him. So I just logged into the YouTube, and then in the broadcast, I found out he's actually having a live concert in 2 weeks time. I said, great, because the last time, remember we went to the concert together.
Yeah, no,
It's one of like my our anniversary gift or something.
I think it might have been. Yeah, I think that was for
Yeah.
like, first anniversary gift.
First anniversary gift. Like we
Yeah.
watched the concert in Sydney live.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I so like this for anyone who's not familiar, because I wasn't familiar.
Yeah,
He's a-
like Matt never knew who this guy is.
He's like wildly famous in China and a lot
Yeah.
of East Asia, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I had no idea who he was,
Yeah.
and so like I mean I couldn't understand. I mean he does speak English in some of it, which was nice.
He speaks very good English and Mandarin, and like when he sings live, his voice and his skills is amazing, and he plays piano, guitar, he writes songs, and
Yeah.
he's just got the talent and got the voice, and he has some really great songs.
So what's your favorite song by him?
A lot.
You can't pick even one?
No, I can't really even pick one. But I like because I haven't heard his latest album just released this year. Some of
yeah.
them are really good, but like I just like a lot of them, and because he's really good in live, like live concert, that's
Yeah.
why I'm really really excited, and I'm happy it's actually you can watch it from your own home, because I can have my couch, have my snack and drinks, and watch the concert in
Yeah.
a comfort clothes. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I think the thing that I liked most when we went to his live concert in Sydney was it was more than just like a concert. Like it was a full on, like there was a
Full
light
show,
show and
yeah.
like there was like a storyline, I think.
Yeah, it's storyline. Yeah, always.
Yeah, I mean it was intense, and like he's because I think a lot of times, and I saw this like if you look at like a lot of the idol singers as well in like Korea and China and I guess Japan as well probably, but they're not just singers. Like they like have choreography that's really intense, and they like have these crazy costumes, and
Yeah.
like it's like a full on, it's like a Cirque du Soleil performance almost. Like it's that extreme.
I actually 100% agree. It's like when you go to those live concerts, it's more like you're going to watch a live storytelling performance with light, singing, dance, fireworks, everything.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really looking forward to see what's the difference this time to watch it online.
Yeah, and this will be a lot of new songs too, you said, right?
Yeah, should be some of his new songs from his new album, but I do wish he would sing the old songs as well.
Oh, I'm sure. He knows. He knows. I heard when you were watching the Ask Me Anything video last night.
Yeah.
I could hear him singing songs that I recognized.
That's great.
So yeah. Oh, and there's our dog in the background again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there he goes.
I guess probably that's the cue for us, right?
That sounds like it.
Yeah.
If you can hear him in the background and you hear just a deep growling sound and you're imagining, and you haven't seen our dog and you're imagining some, huge hellhound beast, he's like a 7.5 kilo little cavoodle.
He's a little
His
cavoodle.
bark.
He's actually a toy cavoodle.
He's a toy cavoodle, and his bark is the polar opposite of his bite. I mean,
yeah.
And he knows we're talking about him.
Yeah,
Here
and
he
he looks like a little teddy bear. So.
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's a good place to wrap up, I think. That was a nice, fun little 3 things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I talked about bidets on our very first episode.
I'm very surprised too. Why you choose that as your topic?
It would have come up eventually.
Fine.
All right. You know what we need though?
What?
We need a good sign off thing to say.
Exactly.
What do you think? How about just like and our 4th thing is you.
That's very cheesy.
I think it's good.
No.
No? All right. Well, we'll have to work on that one.
Yeah.
All right. So, we'll do our 3 things again next week.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll see you next week, and all the days in between as well.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Love you, and goodbye.
Bye.
手中雕刻神话，刀锋千转蜿蜒成花，生命中的他是桥旁萌出人家，春光绕过发梢红纱，刺绣灯塔，眉目刚的那座庄稼，红人留下枕上白发，杯中酒比划。
And say, interrupt me. I forgot what I'm going to say.
Hey, that's the beauty of podcasting, babe.